That's when the fight would have started. How dare you?
Hoochie Daddy, come outside. Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddy.
Hey, it's Fine Girl Dime, and welcome back, Fine Girls. All right, so today we are gonna be talking about this show called Hoochie Daddies, y'all. Let me give a little disclaimer, and I'm not trying to be canceled in like 2050, okay? So, with that being said, I'm referring to how all of these people refer to themselves at the time of this Hoochie Daddies filming, okay? All right, grab your grab your snacks, grab, okay? And let's get this review started, okay? Because you were gonna for this one, okay?
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside.
So Hoochie Daddies Season 1 was literally everything, okay? It definitely gave a nod. It paid homage to all of the reality TV that we saw in the early 2000s, okay? It was the train wreck that you just couldn't look away from. The song, the drama, the challenges. I don't know what was worse, but it made for very interesting TV. My challenge for you is every time you hear the word Hoochie Daddies from me or in this video in general, you need to take a drink. So let's get into it. Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside. Hoochie Daddies was basically everything that I wasn't expecting, okay? When I clicked on this on Tubi, I was like, I thought I was gonna see some fun, but instead, I saw fantasy and all the other Hoochie Daddies, okay? This review is not going to be biased, but I will say that fantasy was my fave, okay? Fantasy was my favorite.
I brought 8 of the baddest masculine identifying women.
They're gonna be living in a house together and they will be competing to see who is the top Hoochie Daddy of the house, okay? And with that being said, the top Hoochie Daddy will win a Hoochie Daddy chain. They will win a trip to Jamaica for 2, and they will win bragging rights. However, later in the season, they add the top Hoochie Daddy will win also a role in Black Widow, a Get Her Done Productions film. So each episode, there's a challenge, and there's also a winner of the challenge, and the winner will get a coin. For the Hoochie Daddy who has the most coins at the end of the season will be the winner. Us fine girls, you know, we got the Hoochie Daddies out there, but we also have the fine girls. If you're a fine girl, make sure you like this video. And if you're not a fine girl, but you like the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, okay? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right? So with that being said, we have a diverse group of fine girls and fine boys, fine people. I'm not sure how you identify, but let me let y'all know what a Hoochie Daddy is, okay? So I'm gonna put up some Urban Dictionary terms just so y'all can see. But for me, I feel like a Hoochie Daddy is someone that is just like, you know, they're single, they're having fun, they're living their life, and they got the Hoochie Daddy aesthetics, you know? So now that we are all caught up on what a Hoochie Daddy is, in case you didn't know, let's get into this drama, okay? So the series starts off, okay, they got my attention by the theme song, okay? Theme song, it's weird, but it kind of gets your attention and it can get stuck in your head, okay? Especially as you watch more and more of the series. Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside. Like, that's catchy, okay? So we meet all the characters. In the beginning of the show, you know, Woody is Crystal Hutchinson, and she is the executive producer. She's the writer. She's basically everything, and she's also the host of the show. So she gets there, she describes everything that happens on the show, which I told y'all about already, and she's like, Hoochie Daddies!
Oh, Hoochie Daddy, come outside.
And don't forget, and each person introduced themselves. She asked them, are you ready? Let me tell y'all about each of the characters, okay? So we have God, okay? Now, that's not my name for her. Now, I know some people don't like the D word and others do, but this person refers to themselves as that. So that's on them, okay?
It's the Hoochie Daddy of all Hoochie Daddies. I am Baltimore bastard, the realest all around entertainer, entrepreneur, rap artist of the world. People also know me as God on pole, big.
This Hoochie Daddy is a musician, and she's also an exotic dancer, okay? So you'll come to see a lot of things in common on this show, okay? The Hoochie Daddies have a lot in common.
I represent the masked woman, dom, the AG, the beautiful balance of masculinity and femininity within a cisgender woman. Next, Hoochie Daddy.
So then we have Moyo, the general. Moyo has a clothing brand. Sometimes she refers to herself as a boy, but her pronouns are still like hers. She says she's from Dallas, but she also says she's from Faraday, Louisiana. Like, she lives in Dallas, but she's originally from Faraday, Louisiana, which is by Mississippi. And you kind of hear it when she speaks.
Stand up. I am the owner of Flower Company.
And she kind of reminds me of Courtney Goldie from Flavor of Love. Now, the thing about her is she says that she's chill, but she is really not chill. Like, everything gets on her nerves. Like, she got smoke with anybody. Basically, she got smoke with the host and everything, but y'all see that later.
Next, Hoochie Daddy.
You have my favorite, Fantasy. Okay, so she's from Baltimore and she is an exotic dancer. She's giving STEM, but she's a model, she's an actress, and she's an exotic dancer.
What's up, babies? I go by the name Fantasy the Artist. I'm coming in this house with an open mind.
Next, Hoochie Daddy.
All right, so then we got Stud King. Now, Stud King has beautiful long locks. Stud King also is from Tennessee. Stud King is a barber, and this Hoochie Daddy also pretends to be chill, but Stud King is not chill. She is easily bothered, girl. Stud King is easily bothered.
And also to show y'all who the real Hoochie Daddy is, I'm real chill, laid back.
And you'll see more of that through the deep dive.
Next, Hoochie Daddy.
Then we got Taz, okay? Taz is from DC. She's an entertainer. She's very cocky and she gives off Leo energy, but I'm not sure of her birthday. If you know it, you can put it in the comment section below, but sometimes she be giving that Leo energy.
Guess the what? I'm here already. It's fucking bugs out here, though. I ain't with the bugs.
Next, Hoochie Daddy.
King is like one of those people that, you know, sometimes I'm envious of. You know, those people that don't really get in drama because they basically like the fly on the wall. Like, they never have any controversy. They never give main character energy. So they always look up and are under the radar. Like, that's basically King this whole series. King is from Dallas, a digital film producer, but she mentions how she has 2 felony charges.
I just beat 2 felony cases. I'm ready to turn the up.
And when I heard that, I was like, you gotta tell us more about that, okay? You can't just like throw that out there and not tell us about the rest of it. But she says that, so basically that maybe that was her way of saying, don't F with me. These other Hoochie Daddies better not F with me. Like, I need to know what King did, or I guess didn't do in this case, since she beat 2 felony cases. Yeah, she's just an under the radar kind of person. Like, I always wish I could be that. Like, but then I wouldn't be the main character that I am. Like,
next, Hoochie Daddy.
So then we have Maya B. She said, Maya B, don't forget the music. But there were plenty of times where people did not call her Maya B Music in the show. And she, you know, if I came in there and I was like, my name is Fine Girl Dime, don't forget the fine, okay? Like, I'm gonna make sure you call me Fine Girl Dime, not just Dime. Unless, you know, it depends. But if I said that, I'm gonna stick to that. Like, that is gonna be my character through the whole reality TV show. But Maya B didn't stick to that. But yeah, she's a singer. She sung regular stuff, but she's trying to like shift into gospel singing. Gospel singing. So she tried to, honestly, if I could sing, I would sing my intro if I was able to sing. And she did that.
I'm a soul and gospel singer.
But she's from Georgia and she's a nurse.
My tactic coming into the house is to play it low key and observe.
Next, Hoochie Daddy.
And then we have J Cash. J Cash is from Louisiana. She came from Texas and she does everything, including a housekeeping business.
Some of my pet peeves, really I don't have many, but one of them being is that don't clean up after themselves. I hate a nasty motherfucker. Like, do what you do with your area.
So basically, Woody shares the premise of the show. We meet all the Hoochie Daddies and then Woody dismisses them to go to their rooms. You know, typically in these reality TV shows, they're in a mansion and, you know, they're like running to their room so they can stake their claim. Well, in this situation, the bets are predetermined. So there's no really like running to like stake your claim, but they're running to see where they are, okay? Now they're in an Airbnb. It's not a trash Airbnb, it's a decent Airbnb that should house, you know, a good amount of people. Now, with this being said, you can tell that the budget is lacking by the editing and also by the house that they're staying in. But this does not mean that the house is trash. The house isn't trash, it's a decent Airbnb. It's just not a mansion like, you know, America's Next Top Model or Flavors of Love. It's not a mansion. It's just, you know, it's a Airbnb to house a huge family reunion potentially. And that's kind of what this show feels like a little bit. A family reunion full of studs. We get to the house. There's a mixture of rooming situations. Now there's two rooms that have 2 twin beds each. Then we have another room that has 1 full-size bed and another full-size bed. But wait, that bed is an air mattress, and that air mattress is from Maya B. Don't forget the music.
Hey, it's an air bed. This an air bed.
And then we have another room that has a king-size bed. And in the closet, there is a little cot. And guess who has the cot to sleep on? God.
I know that's a goddamn lie. They played. They really played. I'm not no damn closet.
I feel like it's because she was the smallest. And people always try to do this to the skinniest or smallest people. Like, you get into a car, and it's like the car is full, but guess what? They want to stick the skinniest person in the middle. Why can't these 2 thick girls get thigh to thigh and one of them take the middle? Like, why does the skinny person always have to get the center seat? Like, that was something that always annoyed me. But I feel like that's why I got the cot, because she's the smallest. Like, I can't see them putting, like, see, Stud King, she was short, but she was thick, so she wasn't gonna fit in that closet. And it was kind of funny because it's like, okay, some people like, oh, you waited all your life to get out the closet and now you back in the closet. But I love that this was so low budget, because it kind of like feeling of nostalgia when you look at it because of the low budget that it had. Now, Taz had the king size bed and King had the cot, like I was telling y'all. They literally could have put that cot anywhere in the house, but they chose to put it in the closet because they trying to be funny. But that couldn't be me in the closet. That literally could not be me in the closet. Why? Claustrophobic. I get teased about being put in the closet, and then Maya B, she starts to appreciate her blow-up mattress in her room. Because honestly, her blow-up mattress, it wasn't like the flat blow-up mattress. It was like those big double-decker blow-up mattresses that are basically like the size of an actual bed. So she becomes a bit more appreciative of her situation, because she like, I'm glad my tail not in this little closet. From Taz's king-size bed, she tries to convince God that her situation is okay, because, you know, she can always close the closet doors and it's like she has a room to herself. But the thing that got me is the fact that Taz begins putting her luggage in the closet that God is sleeping in. So I'm just like, how you gonna say, like, I got all this, you know, I got my own room, and you putting your luggage in my room? Like, at that moment, like, if I was a reality TV star, that's when the fight would have started. How dare you put your luggage in my closet room? How dare you? Because now it's like God only really has half of the closet, because Taz's stuff is on the other closet. Let me know in the comment section if you had the king size bed, would you let God sleep in your bed, or if you would have just let her take the cot, or like, why not take the cot out the closet? It's entertaining though. It's entertaining. Minutes pass and Woody calls them in to like get their thoughts on their accommodations and how they feel about it and everything. And Maya B was honest. She was like, you know, like, I was really feeling some type of way about having the air mattress, but you know, I'm okay with it. I'm just happy to be here and have this Hoochie Daddy experience. Make sure you take this Hoochie Daddy experience. I'll be fair, I'll give my too. I'm just happy to have this Hoochie Daddy experience. And they were also kind of curious, and they were like, how did you go about picking who's gonna get what room? And Woody said, like, we just pick stuff out of a hat. Now, I believe a piece of this, and then another piece I don't, okay? Because I can't see you having like this, you know, this thick or this super tall person being in the closet, sleeping in the closet on a cot. Like, I feel like they probably picked names, but when they saw, like, you know, the smallest 2 people were J Cash and King. So those 2, they probably picked whoever, and they were like, let's see who's gonna be on that cot in the closet, and it ended up being God. Like, really? God can't even fit in that closet. Like, if she wake up real fast from the alarm clock, like, bam, like, she's gonna hit her head in the morning. Like, she's gonna hit her head on the chef in the morning when she wake up. They are so wrong for that. Like, it's hilarious, but they're so wrong. Like, that actually, like, that so much drama could have arisen from that. Like, if I was in Hoochie Daddies, like, I would have given some heck for that. If you put me in the closet, that's actually something I would have said. I would have been like, what? You please put me in. I would have had to to change my outfit, you know, I would have had like this on with maybe like some baggy shorts or something. I'm like, oh my, and so I'm like, let me shut up. And then I'm like, what? You at my first tried to put me in this? Give me your bed. We're sharing this. But let's see if they were calm. Like if they were like, no, I'm not gonna share with you. I'm not gonna share with you. Then that's where the drama would have happened. But hopefully they wouldn't have been in the fight. We have the first challenge. Now the first challenge, they have to create a TikTok and they basically have to get their followers and get like the most views or the most likes, one of the two, by the end of the series. So they start creating their TikToks. Y'all know how TikTok is. You don't really have to learn how to dance. Like it's crazy. Like you'll have like people who are like actual dancers and they're really into it, like big grand moves. But then you have the people on TikTok who are like, you know, they don't really be moving much. They just be like, yeah. So basically they have to like do some TikTok challenges and all that stuff. And whoever wins the TikTok challenge by the end of the series, they get 5 additional coins on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard. I don't know why, but everyone is basically in the living room creating their challenges, right? They're creating their dances to try and get their viewers to like, share, comment, and all that stuff. Fantasy is in there. Y'all know Fantasy is my favorite. Fantasy is in there and she's just like kind of like watching them like, okay, so this is what we doing and all that. And then she go in her room. She tries to like start doing stuff and then she ends up like copying one of Stud King's moves. So God goes in the room, she starts like observing Fantasy and then God goes to Stud King and was like, hey, she copying your moves. What are you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? Like that's rude AF. Like she's stealing your moves. And then Stud King is like, what, really? So she goes over there, she goes in the room, she's just like looking and then she's like, you stealing my moves. Like, let me see your moves, let me see your moves. Fantasy's like, no, I'm not stealing your moves. It's TikTok. They basically all do the same thing. We all do the same moves on TikTok and it becomes like a whole thing, right? I'll put the clip in. So somehow, although Stud King and Fantasy were getting into it, Moyo gets into action. Miss I'm Chill, Moyo gets into action. Before you know it, this happens. So then Stud King gets really mad and then she's just like, blah, 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 all you D's and blah, 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 blah. And like I said before, some people feel offended by the D word and then others don't. So Moyo was one of the ones that took offense by Stud King saying the D word. And because Stud King said y'all, she felt included, which makes sense because my mom would do that too. My mom, she'll be like, y'all need to blah, 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 even though she's talking to one person. And then I would just be finished reading my book and I'm like, why are you coming for me? I didn't do anything. She's like, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to this person. And I'm just like, you said y'all though, like that's inclusive. Y'all is the epitome of an inclusive pronoun. So through this interaction, you can kind of see everyone's dynamic. You see that God is the instigator. Although Stud King claims to be chill, she is absolutely not chill at all. And same for Moyo. And if anything, Moyo's always here for the smoke. Like Moyo, she really be cosplaying as a chill person. She is not chill at all. And Fantasy's slick, but she chill, funny, and absolutely adorable. And Stud King is ready to throw hands at the moment whenever somebody like, you know, comes for her. And then Maya B Music, she tries to play peacemaker. She really tries to play peacemaker. So with that being said, episode 1 ends in absolute chaos and the Hoochie Daddies are clutching their pearls. More so they clutching other Hoochie Daddies' necks.
Hoochie Daddies out of way live. Hoochie Daddies come.
So on to the next episode, episode 2. Episode 2, Woody comes in and she's basically giving Bad Girls Club, okay? It's bad Hoochie Daddies Club. It's bad Hoochie Club. And she's just like waking them up with a bullhorn and she got the alarm setting on. She's like, wake up! Y'all ain't gonna sleep because of me. Because I ain't gonna sleep because of you. Like that's basically how Woody's coming in the house waking everybody up. So Dot wakes up and she's just like up and at him, but she didn't hit her head on the shelf, surprisingly enough. Woody explains what the challenge of the day is. Now the challenge of today is making t-shirts. This day they have some They have all the ladies outside next to a table, and they're supposed to make some Hoochie Daddy t-shirts. And whoever t-shirt that Woody likes the best, they're gonna win. Now, we have a guest on this episode, and the person's name is C Now. If you know C Now, let me know, because I had no clue who C Now was.
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Together, they are gonna judge who should win. And whoever wins this will receive a point on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard. So everybody making the t-shirts. I promise you, this challenge probably cost them at the most $100, okay? But they, they start making their t-shirts, and then Moyo the General and Stud King get into it again, okay? They get into it again, and they get into it about what happened last night. So, like, me, I'm wondering...
Okay, whoa, Holiday. Bring that shit down.
Why did we not resume it back to the drama that happened last night? Like, you went from somebody their necks to waking up the next morning. Like, what happened? Like, you gotta start back from the drama. Like, you can't just start from the drama and then wake up and it's like, oh, it's a new day. And then, like, the drama followed from yesterday. Like, you can't do that. But that's what they did. So,
I'm still, what's the animal? Come on, what? What did you do?
look at the security guard. He looks afraid. Who hired him?
What the fuck you talking about?
It's getting heated between the two, and they are just like going back and forth. And Stud King like, I'm right here. I came 2 tables closer, and you still not doing anything. And then King was like, I mean, you talking all that stuff. Like, if you talking all that stuff, you need to be about it and just bam, 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 bam the girl. Sometimes people just gotta fight it out and then it's over with after. I don't know. But basically the time starts running out for them to finish the competition. Boop, boop, boop. Time's out. So they can't even like finish their t-shirts because they're busy chat and going back and forth. God is continuing to instigate, and she's like, you doing all that talking but you're not popping off. I don't see you throwing them hands, so you're not doing anything. But we do have some people trying to like finish their shirts and everything.
Oh. That's tough.
Okay, got to get her. Oh.
Everyone describes the shirts. We have some people that they take forever to finish just a small amount. And it's just like, Hoochie Daddy, you took that long to finish that small amount of work.
This was Maya B. She wasn't even arguing. Why her shit ain't done?
Okay, and you have some that didn't finish at all because they were talking. And then there was Taz. I guess Taz won because of her BLM imagery in her shirt, and the fact that she actually finished the shirt and some others didn't, and because of the believed symmetry that Woody felt like the shirt had. Like, Woody's sense of symmetry is like not real. Like, it's not the real definition of symmetry, because she'll be like, oh, this has symmetry, when it's like one thing up here, one thing up here. And I guess like if you do it diagonally it has symmetry, but I don't know. You can let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. But yeah, Taz, she ends up winning that competition.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies from my side.
So episode 3, we have Woody. Now today, she calls everyone into the living room, but it's really weird because she doesn't like wake people up like she woke them up the other day. So J Cash is still in the bed. J Cash looked like J Cash is just pretending to be asleep, but not really asleep. But J Cash said that she thought that he was gonna wake her up, but Woody didn't wake them up like they did before. So she come to bed all like, she come out of bed to go to the living room like all late and stuff. But let me touch on one thing before we get to this competition. J Cash's room, y'all know how in the beginning J Cash was talking about, oh, I do housekeeping and all that stuff. Tell me why the room looked messy. Housekeeping where? Housekeeping how? Okay, I didn't see it, but whatever. So they also talk about cleaning issues and how King doesn't clean. King don't do a lot of stuff. King does not do a lot of stuff. It seems like King's personality in this reality TV show was smoking, drinking, and eating. So Woody asked, how are y'all? How's y'all game? And they were like, oh, women come to me.
I don't know if these films is really gay or not.
And they're like, okay, well, for this challenge, you're gonna have to approach other people. So they bring them to the beach and they're like, okay, you need to get as many numbers as you can within 5 minutes. So they go off, they try to do it. Moyo, she ends up getting they go off in 2s, by the way. Moyo, she gets disqualified because she took too long. She took like 3 minutes longer than she was supposed to. And then Moyo was like, you brought that bullhorn in our room the other day, but you should have brought this bullhorn out here to the beach so we can hear you when it's time's up. Which was a good point. That was a good point. But they didn't have the bullhorn, so she got disqualified. Moyo and Woody, they kind of go like back and forth like they family. The challenge really has nothing to do with attraction, but you basically just need to get a bunch of people's numbers. Like, it doesn't matter if, you know, you like the person or you don't like the person. You just need to get the numbers. Now, Stud King, I guess she spent too much time on one girl, so her teammate felt some type of way about it, because like, you spent all your time getting one person number when the challenge, like if you're trying to win the challenge, it doesn't matter if they're a boy, it doesn't matter if they're a girl, it doesn't matter if they're whatever. You just need to get their number so you can win the challenge. Now, initially it was a tie. It was a tie between Maya B and a tie between J Cash, and Maya B won. And the reason why Maya B won is because J Cash had 9 numbers instead of 10 numbers that she was supposed to have as like, you know, one individual's number. So they were like, Maya B won because she has all 10-digit phone numbers. When Moyo got disqualified, I don't know why, but Moyo, she act like everything is a personal attack against her. And it's just like, Hoochie Daddy, this is not a personal attack towards you. Like, this is just general, okay? If this was anybody else, they would have got disqualified, okay? They would have gotten disqualified. It is not because it's Moyo, okay? You're not that special. You're not that special for this to happen just to you. So after they have fun and all that stuff, they go to the strip club. They go to the strip club and they perform, okay? When they go to the strip club, y'all, this is basically when I fall in love with Fantasy, because I was just like, wow, like she's really giving. Like, she's really giving. God, she does a performance as well. You have J Cash MC. She felt very flattered that Woody wanted her to MC. And yeah, you have like different people performing and showing like what they do when they're in their city normally. And you know, Fantasy, she was just killing it. She was just like, I'm in love with a stripper. She ride and she run. I'm in love with a stripper. She ride and she run. I ain't going nowhere. Know what I'm saying? That's what Fantasy was giving. So afterwards, they debrief. And then we go into the next episode.
Hoochie Daddies out of way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside.
So the next episode is the cooking challenge. And in the cooking challenge, we have some people who are actually cooking, some people who are not doing anything. Basically, King. King decided to cook a salad for the group, and the salad came pre-packaged. So she's really not cooking like that. And other people are a bit annoyed by it, but she just, once again, still manages to like not have any tension with anyone. Like, I thought you were trying to, I don't know, like it could have been more there. It could have been more there. Like, what? I can't cook. I'm a 5-star Michelin chef. What are you talking about?
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Like, she could have came through like that. Although you can always check that. But it's just like, you know, like that's what I loved about Hottie from Flavor of Love. Like, she always gave. She was like, this is my role and I'm sticking to it. Moyo, she starts some controversy with King saying that salad don't count as something you cooking because it's pre-wrapped, pre-cut, pre-everything, which honestly, I would have said something like that. Not because I'm starting controversy, but because it's honest. It's the honest truth. Like, you don't cook a salad, you just gather it. You just gather the salad stuff. So J Cash, apparently she knows how to cook fried chicken. So she's making the chicken. Everybody else is like, you know, helping out how they help out. But then God gets upset and God is like, why are y'all making the biscuits in the same oven as y'all are cooking the chicken in? Like, they baked chicken and they fried chicken. So J Cash was frying the chicken, and they also had somebody that was baking chicken and making the biscuit. And so all of a sudden, J Cash and Taz start going at it. But when I saw it, I thought they were playing. I thought it was a little kiki. I thought it was like, you know how your little sibling come for you and you just like hold their head right here so they can't even like fight you or anything. Just like, whoa, whoa, whoa there, little guy. Like, that's what it looked like. But then it became serious, and then they start bow, 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 bow. wow. And then all of a sudden, so then you have King and God on the patio, just talking, chilling, but you can tell God is still upset. And then King was like, wow, I didn't expect all this to happen. And then I guess God was still upset. She was like, you know what? I'm coming for Taz's neck. So she goes to fight with Taz again. She runs up on her, claims she's not sneaking her. I qualify this as a sneak, but she came up on the girl. And then Taz was like, whoa. And then I guess Taz like did something and snatched her little lock up. Now, y'all saw God's hairstyle. It's like kind of, it's a fade, but it has like locks in certain areas. So Taz just snatched that up right quick. And then it flew to the ground. She's like, I got just locks. You know, they separate the two of them. Security, security, where are you? The security's horrible. And they don't even really look like security. Security is not threatening at all. Look at the security guard. He looks afraid. Who hired him? So they separate the two. God is upset and was like, man, like, cause she was really trying to go for this girl. She was really trying to get Taz. Now Taz is like 5'9" and God is like 4'9", so they're like a feet apart. But you know what? She's like, I'm little, but you're not gonna come for me, which I can totally relate to. So they gather all the people, and Woody's like, actually, this isn't a challenge. I'm just hungry. So it kind of seems like this is a setup from the outside looking in. It kind of just looks like this is a setup so Taz and God could get into it. But then Woody ends up announcing the Kleenex challenge. The Kleenex challenge is basically, it's a box of Kleenex with some bells in it, and you gotta shake, you gotta shake, you gotta shake until you knock all of those balls out, okay? All those jingle bells out.
I got music ready.
2 different phases. And in the first phase, Fantasy is in, and she and I think it's God, they both are dancers, and they just like they getting their squats in. They like, yeah, but it wiggle, like they are getting ready to shake. So when they're doing that, they're just like whoop 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 whoop, and they're shaking. Fantasy makes it to the next level. Then you have the other round. Out of the other round, Taz, she shake, and now we have a final round. Now the final round is between Taz and Fantasy because they made it through. And Fantasy ended up winning. Woo! Now J. King, she said, it becomes a whole thing, these dishes again, because you know they cooked a few minutes ago. J. King like, I'm not doing the dishes, and then you have that guy who say, I'm not doing the dishes. Now Stud King comes out, and she actually ends up having a lock that fell out in her head underneath her do-rag, and she's like, ooh. And that guy get mad, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna come for you. It's giving little Hoochie Daddy syndrome. So she's just like, and she tried to like drop kick the girl, but that guy not having it, because she's like, no, you're not gonna lift me. You're not gonna lift me, because once you lift me, it's over with. All these big be trying to act like, okay, you're gonna lift me and then you're gonna win the fight, but I'm gonna stand sturdy because you're not gonna lift me. So that's basically what she did, okay? And it ended up working. Like, Stud King was actually on the bottom and King was on the top. Wow, wow, wow. So then we have this mystery comes about where they're like, oh, who told Woody that we have the pow pow? Who told Woody we got the
I ain't got my I'm in Moncrief and we at the red light.
And I wonder why the she came straight to me and asked me about
We can't have no say that before we kill.
And they're like, ooh, I don't know, I didn't tell. And then Stud King was like, well, I told Woody I have a because I am an entertainer and I have to have to protect myself. Moyo says that someone snitched on her and told Woody that she had, but she didn't tell nobody but one person. But she never says who this one person is though. So then we go on to episode 5. So now we're like kind of halfway through the series.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come on.
So Maya B says that somebody snitched on her regarding the J-Cass snitched saying who all has and who all doesn't. She felt some type of way that I guess somebody told that she had the. And then we go into the slip and slide challenge. Now the slip and slide challenge is a DIY slip and slide challenge. They basically have some tarp on the ground with some dishwasher detergent and a hose pipe. And basically they're in teams and they have to pop the balloons. Okay, they have to pop the balloons on the other person's bum.
But you can't use your hands.
Okay, that's what has to happen. So I'll give you a video to demonstrate, and I'll let you know how each of the guests thought about it. Okay, I'll let you know how each of the contestants thought about it. All right.
I'm 5'9½". I was paired up with my guard that's 4'9" or 5 foot. Like, it don't work. And plus, man, get your on, man. Come on, baby. How you like that?
And so J Cash won hugs. When it's my turn to win, she acting frail. I know I kind of pumped her a little hard, but you ain't got to do me like that, J Cash.
I mean, I didn't mind my partner because of the simple fact she switched back and forth, so I didn't mind that. She ain't had to bend over like that, though.
Come on. I'm saying she popped me from the back a little bit and kind of me up.
Stud King, oh my Stud King. We had our minds set to what the hell we gonna do.
I never went to Pound Town like that before.
My 4 winners was J Cash, Moyo, Stud King, and Fantasy.
So the next challenge is a tug of war. Now the tug of war was really, really quick. Like, I'm actually gonna insert this video in because it was so quick. It was like,
No, wait.
wow.
I had the strategy of I'm just gonna turn around, I'm just gonna pull.
Baby, come on!
I was confident. I was so confident that I didn't pull.
This is the quickest tug of war I ever seen. And honestly, I think it was so quick because they didn't put like the little knots that you usually have in the tug of war, because those little knots, they help out a lot when you're like trying to tug. And then J Cash admits that J Cash did not do absolutely anything. This Hoochie Daddy felt so confident that her teammates had it down. And I can't say I wouldn't have done something similar. I'm like, they got it. During this episode, I actually learned that there's like this stud on stud taboo. Like, they be feeling some type of way about it. Personally, I don't feel any type of way towards studs being with studs in any way whatsoever, because it's just like, you're both ladies, but I can see you liking what you like. You know, I think it just depends on the person and what they're interested in, what they want to do. But I guess it's like a little taboo. Like, you know how guys, they be bottom shaming when it's like, you here for the bottoms, okay? I don't know why you talking about the bottoms, but you know you be here for them. I be seeing you at Crockers. Oh, that becomes like a whole thing, because this balloon challenge, this slip and slide challenge, is a bit suggestive, and people were like, oh, Fantasy's tooting that up too good. Toot that thing up. And it's like, girl, she trying to win, and she might be a little attracted to you, but that's okay.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies.
Now we go to episode 6. Episode 6 is the Casamigo en la Casa challenge, okay? Now, basically, this is a college game, okay? Each round, you take a and whoever can't last, they're out, and whoever has the most is the winner. So that's basically what it is. Who wins this? King, okay? Because I told y'all before, all King does is eat, smoke, drink. So, you know, she wins this, along with some others who also win. But Maya B, she wins as well, I think, but she wasn't feeling too confident about it because she doesn't really think like that, and the others are like avid. So she's just like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna win this or not. So then they go to the kitchen to dance. It's kind of funny because when you watch, Woody ends up forgetting what, like, they have like a little TikTok challenge, right? Woody tries to bring them back together for the next round, but Woody don't even remember what round it is. She's like, come on y'all, it's round 11, it's round 11, when really it's round 12. Girl, where you been? Fantasy, she does not participate in this challenge because she's not a white kind of girl. Like, she doesn't drink, she's the brown. So she kind of like with them, but she knows she's not in the challenge because she's not doing the Casamigo. So at the end of this challenge, Stud King and Fantasy tie with the same amount. I think it's like either I think it's either 5 or 6 points that they have on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside.
So now we go to episode 7. Episode 7, it starts off with drama between Stud King and God once again, and Stud King want to use the bathroom to tie up her locks, and King is like, no, you can't use our bathroom, you can't use our bathroom. You know, she just got a cot, so she just has a cot in the closet, so she's definitely being very territorial around this bathroom, because the bathroom is the nicest bathroom in the house. And she's like, you know what, I might not have a whole room to myself, but I got this bathroom and nobody else can use it but me. So like, like psychologically, I can kind of understand why she is so protective over like, oh, not wanting to use the bathroom. But then Stud King didn't even want to use the bathroom like that. She just wanted to use the mirror. So she ends up using the mirror in Stud King's room because at God's room, because Stud King's room doesn't have a mirror. But here's the thing. They start fighting. But here's an even funnier thing. Now they have 2 security guards instead of 1 because I guess 1 wasn't enough. I told y'all that first security guard, he was not really doing his thing. Look at the security guard. He looks afraid. Who hired him? He was not really doing his thing when it came to securing the area when it was the first fight between God and Stud King. So then we go into the boxing broil challenge. Now the boxing broil challenge is once again a DIY ring. And we have someone named Pumpkin something. She don't really matter for the for this video, but she is basically like the cute girl that's like, oh, round 1. Like that's basically her role. The first people we have fighting is Maya B and King. Maya B and King, they don't even look like they want to fight each other. Like and they don't hit each other in the face. I'm not saying you have to hit each other in the face, but it just looks like they friends and they don't want to fight each other. That's what it looks like. It's not entertaining as far as that first part. Cause it's just like, it's like, where is the entertainment, girl? Like we could have cut this part out because they were not entertaining to watch. Those 3 rounds, I'm sleeping. So then we have Taz and we have Moyo. They're about the same height, but they don't really have beef like that. It was entertaining. This one was entertaining. And it was entertaining because like Taz was winning the first 2, it seemed like. And then Moyo came in and she started like hitting. And then they rang the bell and Moyo was still hitting. And then Moyo won. And it's like, I feel like Taz should have won. But if you see it, you can put if you've seen it before, you can put who you think should have won that round. But I think Taz should have won because Moyo did all the hitting after the bell rung. Taz, she was consistent. So then we have Fantasy and J Cash. I think that was kind of an awkward match because J Cash is like 4 feet and then Fantasy is like, I don't know, like 5'6" between 5'9". And they were fighting each other. J Cash won that situation. Honestly, I think Fantasy let J Cash win. That's what I think. But y'all know I'm a little biased. But no, like I feel like looking at it from an objective lens, I feel like Fantasy was not giving her all in that situation. In that fight, she was not giving her all. But I feel like Fantasy definitely could have won that. And it has nothing to do with like size. I'm just talking as far as like athleticism and like the reach. Like Fantasy has reach. And she thicker than J Cash. Like it made sense for Fantasy to win that, but Fantasy had already been winning, so she can kind of spare the extra points. So now the event that we have all been waiting for, and it is God and Stud King's turn to fight. Like even the name of that sounds like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? So yeah, like it's their turn to get in the ring. They have been fighting all these other times. And now it's time to get in the ring, baby. So it makes sense that they paired these 2 because they have the most tension in the house. But here's the thing. They should have made it to where it's a tournament. So God could have fought Taz because she don't with Taz like that. And she could have fought Stud King. That's what they should have had. It should have been a tournament. But anyways, it's between Stud King and God. So they're going back and forth. They fight. God never wears a shirt, so she's not wearing a shirt for this either. And this fight is the most entertaining, and I'm sure it's, you know, strategically made that way. That's why they put it towards the end. And it looks like they're both trying more than the other contestants were like trying to like hit on each other. And Stud King wins.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies.
We have episode 8. Episode 8, they're trying to prank each other. We had J Cash pranking Stud King and putting some mustard in her mouth. So she could be like, oh my goodness, there's mustard in my mouth and all that. And then we have the switch challenge. Now, as you know already, we have some masculine presenting women. You know, they be dressing like some studs, but I feel like Fantasy, you know, she a switch. So, I mean, well, we find out that Fantasy is a switch. She came through, you know, my favorite. Okay, let me focus. The switch challenge is for them to do their makeup within 20 minutes, and we see the different girls' outcomes. Now, Moyo, she goes for a completely different look. She was like, because this is what she came up with. Which, you know, she was creative. She was very creative. She was very creative. King's look like Young Berg with some locks, okay? We're gonna have to do like a split screen where you see Young Berg and you see King. Yeah, God. Thank God. You know, this might be an unpopular opinion, but she don't look that bad, okay? Like, I kind the unibrow because I love a Frida Kahlo look. And the reason I love a Frida Kahlo look is because I'm a hairy girl. Like Frida Kahlo, that's not what this video is about, but, and that won't stop them from being a hoochie daddy in this switch competition. But then we have Maya B, okay? The results for her, they said her lip gloss was popping and that was about it. Taz, she got a 4. I don't know what she got from the other girl, but yeah. Stud King got a 7 and something else. Stud King, you know, they really tried with the, you know, putting the shirt in between here. I used to do that as a kid because my parents didn't let me have crop tops. So I'd be like, you ain't nothing but a hoochie mama, hoodie, hoochie mama. Yeah. J Cash got a 9 and a 10. And then Fantasy, my girl Fantasy, my hoochie daddy Fantasy, she went all out, okay, y'all? She brought the purse. She made her own lip gloss. She brought out her femme clothes, okay? Like, she came with it. She was ready for this challenge, and she should have won it, but she also scored a 19. Now, because J Cash and her Virgo sister Fantasy scored a 19, they had to have a challenge, and the challenge was a twerk off, okay? Now they twerking, they twerking, and she twerk. J Cash bust a headstand, and that is the reason why J Cash won. And honestly, I agree with Fantasy. Fantasy, she felt some type of way. When people dispersed after, once J Cash was determined the winner, Fantasy, she went along her way and she just needed some time alone, which I can understand because she was robbed of that win. She was robbed of that point on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard. So she was like, she just needed some time to herself because it shouldn't have went to the twerk off session. And I agree with it because she won the switch challenge. She made her lip gloss, she switched wardrobes, and her makeup looked the best. She should have won. They stole her point on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard.
Hoochie Daddies out of way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside.
So episode 9, all the Hoochie Daddies come to the living room and Woody says they have any questions about yesterday. And Woody explains that Woody is fair and, you know, there's no favorites. Fantasy was alluding that there was some favorites in the house because she was robbed of that win, which I agree with. She was robbed of that. She should have had that. I need to tie my hair up. We have the Maddie challenge. Now in the Maddie challenge, the Hoochie Daddies, they have to tend to babies. Now initially they think it's gonna be real kids, but come to find out it's just baby dolls and they have to like treat it like a real kid. And Woody will be looking behind the scenes to see how each person treated their baby. Now, this episode, the reason I like this episode is because it gets into conversations that lesbians and bi people might have. So for example, like what they want their child to call them. Like, you know, some people might want their child to call them daddy. Some might want them to call them, you know, mommy or mom. Like, it really just depends. So we learn a bit more about each of the Hoochie Daddies and what they prefer to be called. And we also learned that some of them have children already. So we learned that Taz has a kid already and she prefers to be called mommy by her children. And I love that we learned about their opinions based on, like, you know, what they want to be called and what, like, their parenting styles, like how they are as parents or how they would be as parents. I really wish it was more of that in the show. Like, I wish it was more dialogue that happens, or even dialogue that doesn't happen very often in the LGBT community, and specifically like lesbians though, like the conversations that aren't had very frequently. So for example, the stud on stud taboo, like why is that even taboo? I don't really get how that's taboo. Like, I can understand why some people would think of it as taboo, but I don't really understand why it's taboo. Like, I'm kind of on the same page as Fantasy as far as like what she said about, oh, stud on stud. They also have the random challenge of drinking a beverage from a baby bottle. Whoever drinks it the fastest is the winner. And then they have the results from the challenge of who took care of the baby. Now, King is disqualified because King went out to take a bunch of smoke breaks. King also took nap breaks without the baby. Like, King wasn't taking that challenge seriously. He was like, this is not a real human baby. I'm not taking care of this. That's basically what King said. And then J Cash got disqualified because J Cash had Fantasy babysit the baby which is crazy because it's a baby doll, but you know, you see they kind of took the situation seriously because they was like, I'm not watching this baby, let me pay somebody else to watch it. So they decided to let Fantasy watch it. So the winners of the competition was Fantasy, God, Moyo, and Stud King. Now, like I told y'all before, there's a TikTok challenge within this competition, and whoever wins the TikTok challenge gets an additional 5 points on the Hoochie Daddy scoreboard. Well, rumor has it that some of the contestants are paying for views for the Hoochie Daddy TikTok challenge, and that becomes a whole thing.
Hoochie Daddies all the way live. Hoochie Daddies come outside.
So now we get into episode 10. Episode 10 is it's called the push luck challenge, and basically they just have to stay in a planking position, and whoever stays there the longest is the winner. Everybody who wasn't disqualified in the previous competition or challenge is in this one. The final 2 contestants for the push luck challenge is Maya B and God ends up being the person that wins that challenge. But the thing is, you know, we had that TikTok challenge, and the winner of the TikTok challenge was Stud King. So ultimately, Stud King is the winner of the Hoochie Daddy competition. So yes, this was so much fun to watch. I did like the earlier episodes of Hoochie Daddies as opposed to the ones later in the season because I felt like it was more entertaining, and I got tired of them arguing about stuff they had already argued about the episode before. So for example, that fight in the first episode, like we should have had a continuation of that fight in the second episode as opposed to it just ending on that mark. And then episode 2, it's a new day. And like, how did the first episode, like how did that argument end? Like I want to know. And I want there to be like more discussion between, or not between, but more conversation between the contestants about like their views or their opinions on different issues that affect lesbians or bisexuals. And I would like for them to go out more too and like have a storyline based on like when they went out at some point. Okay, so there's like a season 2 coming out. I'm not sure of the timing of it, but I did see online that they selected who the Hoochie Daddies for season 2 was going to be. I have an idea who's going to be my favorite so far, but we'll see because I don't know anything about like what their Hoochie Daddy season 2 personalities are going to be. So I'm really interested in that. If you have already seen Hoochie Daddies, let me know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, okay? Bye!